Peace, I'm Yolandamarie, or Yanni for short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a 2020 vlog style recap and Q&A, just kind of taking you through the journey of my 2020 experience from top to bottom, beginning very different than the end. And as I answer some questions and kind of walk you through it, we'll have added in different photos and videos that correlate to that time period. Hopefully it's just a nice little ride.
Give me a recap of 2020 in one word.
A recap of 2020 in one word. I don't think there's a recap of 2020 in one word. Okay. I have three. May I recap 3 words? So, for my 3, I would say growth. Definitely growth. Awareness. And healing. Growth, awareness, and healing. Those would be my three words to recap 2020. Growth, because I started the year off kind of skyrocketing into one of my dream situations, which was to be a part of or have my own extended stint in a gallery somewhere, and I was granted that opportunity to be a part of the Fashion Institute of Technology's Black in Time exhibit. A few of my pieces from the end of January to the beginning of March were displayed in the Pomerantz Gallery. I think that's how you pronounce it. 3 of my pieces were featured there. So I started with that huge piece of growth, and I deal with a lot of one, separation anxiety, and we'll get into that later, and 2, I'm very introverted, so this in and of itself was just a huge growth experience that we'll kind of dive into later. But yeah, it was a huge growth experience in that sense. And then in terms of awareness, New York, it kind of ties into New York as well, but the year in general, just becoming more aware of myself, where I'm resonating at in the world, in my sphere, in my interpersonal circle, in my expanded circle as a whole, with the people that I engage with on the regular, and then everyone else that, we used to see in passing, because now, things are very different. And then healing, starting at the top of the year, my mom and myself, we opened the year in the Bahamas, scattering my father's ashes. So it was just very healing to kind of bring another piece of closure to me and my family. And I spent a lot of time reflecting the rest of the year as well. And that was a huge part of getting to next steps in that healing journey, having lost my father and adjusting to grief and grieving, because it's definitely something I'm learning does not just go away or disappear. You just kind of learn to live with it differently and somewhat, I think, more functionally as time goes on. So.
You okay to proceed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about something to kind of bring your spirits back up? What are some highlights of the year?
Many highlights, which is surprising. Not surprising. Okay. I have several, so I went with 3 for the words to describe 2020, so I think I'll go with 3 highlights. So my 3 highlights would be, I already mentioned New York, so I'll start there. That was one of my biggest dreams, and kind of almost even something I had placed on a pedestal. Excuse me. That was, yes. We love it. That's gonna get cut out. So, yes, New York. That was one of my biggest dreams, almost even to the point of having it on a pedestal. I just had dreams and visions, and just of seeing myself in New York because of the kind of art that I do, my photo storytelling. I had always thought of New York as the place that was just really going to be a dope spot for me to explore and really hop in my bag. I love the energy out there, love the people I've met out there. It's a highlight because it also was part of my growth experience. After getting there and kind of going through the experiences that I had, being a part of the gallery, going to the events associated with the gallery, meeting new dope people, I kind of came to this sobering realization that I had sprinkled so much glitter and, to a degree, unwarranted anticipation on New York and getting to go and be there and almost kind of live there for a little bit and just have that full-on experience. I had put so much weight on what it was going to be and how it was going to feel, and that it was just going to be this great, big, like, upon arrival, it just was not all of that. It was rewarding, but it wasn't all of this extraness. Finally having the experience was very sobering, and so I began unlearning the concept and the idea that something, an experience, what I want, an opportunity is somehow separate from me or unattainable. And that changed everything. So I got to enjoy New York, but I got to enjoy it as something that I knew I deserved, I knew I had worked towards. Having almost a decade of photography interest and experience under my belt, and having come from previously, in the previous year in 2019, having done 2 pop-up shows as well, it was truly something that I was prepared to walk into, and it wasn't this huge thing that I was making it out to be. I was actually completely prepared for it. And that was dope. So yeah, that was one of my favorite highlights, and one of the biggest growth experiences was just coming further into myself, quieting the voices and the anxiety within myself that would tell me or had me believing that it wasn't my time, or that I hadn't put in enough time, paid dues, etc. It was just very reassuring, and it was a dope experience to experience using my voice, articulating myself, and being proud of my art and my progress and my meanness. And I'm done rambling about that one. And unfortunately, I don't have a ton of photos and footage from my time in New York between January to early March, because it was such a feat for me, and because of my anxieties and extreme introvertedness, in looking back now, realized I did not document a whole lot in New York at all, except from in the safety of my godbrother's apartment. So shout out to my godbrother, shout out to Kevin and his dope blue chair. I'll probably just drop some photos from inside his apartment from there. But yes, biggest shout outs to Kevin for letting me crash with him. He is the best. I will also link him below because he is a dope photographer himself, so you should check out his stuff. It'll be linked in the description box. I think you will also see Soleil pop up because she did accompany me to one of the events, and so you'll see our fancy dancy outfits. Shout out to Mooney B. Muñeca. She designed my dress. She's awesome. That'll also be in the description box below. Highlight number 2. I think highlight number 2 is an easy one. I think I'm gonna go with the relationship I wound up entering into. For the longest time, I didn't realize it was something I wanted. I can be totally and completely and 100% myself. And we have love languages that sync up and mesh well together, and that'll be a conversation for a different video on why that is so crucial. It's not just romantic, we're best friends, we're homies, we can't stand each other, and it's beautiful. It's also a business partner. The fact that what we do works and meshes so well together. I do photo storytelling, so photography, paint, a bunch of stuff that shall soon be seen. But everything he does just fits right in the pocket with what I do. And what he does, I kind of fit right in the pocket there as well. I never realized just how much that was something I truly desired, because it helped me be able to elevate my creativity and creative output. And so the blessing of being in a partnership where we both kind of tie in those ends, we find that we need assistance with, and even when we don't, it's just dope to have a partner that's like, oh, this is what I'm doing today. Like, hey, Ferb, what are we gonna do today? This is what we're doing today. Like, literally just whatever pops up, rolling dirty, and just having fun. Like, we literally just have fun with everything that we do, and you'll get to see more behind the scenes with that soon come, because our shenanigans are immaculate. They are. So that would be highlight number 2, is my partnership in both love, business, family, the little family vibes. Yes, all of the family vibes and the love and the good arting that gets done. That's a highlight in a nice little bundle. So yes, that would be highlight 2. It doesn't help because there's so many things to look at in this room, so if you see me looking around, you'll get to see the room eventually, but there's lots of things to look at, and getting used to talking to a camera is like, okay. So highlight number 3. Highlight number 3 I would have to give to my mom and I. 2020 gave us the opportunity to experience a shift in relationship. Like, we truly, I feel, came to a space of being mother and daughter, but mother and adult daughter bond and relationship that I feel has blossomed, as opposed to mother, daughter, child relationship. 2020 really gave us the opportunity to change that dynamic, and for me to really do some adulting out from underneath her wing, and that's something else I'll get into at a later time, but my codependence and separation anxiety. So yeah, 2020 definitely pushed me in so many different directions of out of my comfort zone, because yes, the comfort of my mother, my parents in general, was something that I struggled with for a very long time for many reasons. And 2020 just, yeah, like I said, set the stage and gave the opportunity for me to begin to push past that. New York, for one, like when she told me she was not going to be able to come with me to run my art pieces up to New York, I really struggled, but pulled through it. And then each consecutive time that I had to travel. So it was a great transition in relationship there. And then just the ways we were able to support each other in different ways. So yes, shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. You're amazing. Kisses and hugs and love. All that good stuff. Now I got something in my loop. Buzz. Anyway. Okay.
You know I'm zooming in on that.
No! So yeah, just getting to bond with each other differently, and engage just on a whole different spectrum and support each other. That's the most important thing, just supporting and loving each other in a whole new light, in a whole new way. And that is my 3rd highlight that I'm gonna choose. Actually, 4th and bonus highlight, it was a piece of his fur. That's what it was. Finally got it.
That's the highlight?
No, the highlight. The 4th highlight, my bonus highlight would be just the amount of time 2020 was presented me with, and the ability, the immense gratitude I have to have been able to take the time to begin to return inward through my crafts, through my art, picking apart and discovering who I am, creating who I am, and deciding what next. I think that's the 4th highlight of just getting the opportunity to be present with myself, by myself, with close family, and getting just to sit in that, like, my me-ness, the who is my me-ness, and I've kind of continued into that, into this new year as well. But that's one of my greatest highlights and gratitude points, is just the time and space that COVID has created, quarantine has created. Not COVID, but quarantine. Because my heart goes out to everyone who is truly suffering. I feel for you. I feel for the hurt. And my heart and my soul goes out to you. But yes, I do have immense gratitude for just the time and space to be still and sit with me and be with me. Yeah, that's my fourth. That's 8. My fourth. My fourth highlight, my bonus highlight. Peace. This is Yanni from Post and Editing. So we realized that this video actually got really, really long, and we thoroughly enjoyed the conversation and the questions. And so you don't just get worn out, drug out, and too overwhelmed from a long-winded video. We're actually going to split it into 2 parts now. So this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment down below what were your 3 highlights of 2020, and I'll be in the comments to see what you say and, you know, respond, all that good stuff. And for now, that's it, and that's all. So, peace.